and welcome to Game 2 of Rainbow Six, taking on Utah University. Tonight, you got myself, Speedy Kill Ninja, joined today by,
My name's Nate. I'm the Siege coach.
yeah, we got Siege Coach and Coach of no team, here in the booth tonight. But Otterbein taking Game 1 7-1. Nate, I know I was busy with Overwatch, but what are some of the things you saw in Game 1?
Well, Otterbein was just looking dominant so far. They were strong on their retakes. They were strong on their attacks. They were really finding holes. They had some VOD review on these guys, and they knew what to play. I think maybe Utah was underestimating us a little bit coming into this, and they're taking full advantage of that right now. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see
absolutely.
what they bring back to.
I mean, Utah is top team in collegiate, and to come out 7-1 in game one, very impressive. So excited to see what they're going to be able to do.
And I'm looking for hopefully another 7-1 will keep it strong, but
For
I guess
sure.
we'll have to wait and see. All right, Otterbein start finishing their setup. Looks like moving some stuff around. Utah looks like they're setting up outside of the east side of the map, looking for a plant on archives here. They've got all five outside. They've just droned out the bomb site, found the bombs. Now they're going to look for the players, try to figure out what's going on here. So far, still quiet. Nothing happening yet. The Senswall comes in. Door comes open on archives, and it looks like they're setting up for an execute here. C4 coming out from Soda. That's not going to land. Looks like they can't find the planter here. Utah in a very good position, 5v5 post plant. The Montaigne gets the plant down. Still in the corner of the bomb site. Otterbein looking for an opportunity to retake. Can't find space just yet. Looks like Ben going for a run out on the top east door. He's going to go down. Astro takes the first pick of the game. 25 seconds left on the case here. Otterbein needs to find a pick and needs to get in position to defuse here. There's a pick for Soda. We'll get one back. It's now 4v3. Make that a 4v2 for Utah. And now a 4v1 with the bomb down. It's all on Mike, and Mike will go down. Difficult round one for Otterbein there. Quick plant looked very rehearsed. They had everything in position for the execute, and Otterbein just didn't have an answer.
Having some issues with the game audio, unfortunately.
You're good.
Hopefully, we'll
I
be
can
able
hear it
to.
over here. I don't know if that helps.
Oh, should be good then. Let me double check on stream.
Round two, Otterbein rotating to the bathroom tellers bomb site. Looks like they've got a Smoke, Warden, Legion, Malusi, and Mike on the My. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another quick execute here from Utah. This map is very popular for those, and well, it was successful the first time. I wouldn't be surprised to see it a second. Looks like Otterbein setting up an extension into work. And looks like they've spawned on the east side of the map here. Two out to the west side, and I think the rest spawn on the east. See how they're going to attack this bomb site. Doesn't look like they're positioning for a quick plant here, so we won't see a repeat of last round at least. Should be a little closer. Quick entry pick for Nasty on the run out on the top of the east stairs. He'll take down TNT Lord on the Grim. Otterbein now with the 5v4 advantage. Looks like Troy getting droned out in workshop here. Not sure if he's aware of the pressure coming his way. Oh, and they've rotated off. Never mind. Pressure is not there anymore. Looks like Utah's headed up to the top floor now. Otterbein just sitting pretty right here with their man advantage. Not going to give a pick back. All right, there comes Ram from Utah. Looks like through those. through the teller's window. Interesting choice there. Some would say that was a waste of utility. Smoke's coming up on teller's window and the warding goggles on Soda here. That might help with the plant, but I don't think they're going to go for one. Maybe they're just looking for a pick through the smoke with the glads they have out there. Minute 30 left, still pretty tame. That 5v4 becomes a 5v3 as Ben finds one onto Dreg. Not sure where they were. Looks like on maybe the vertical or maybe through the window there. He might have jumped in. Utah is stalling out real hard right now. Looks like they've got one player walking into Passport. Troy's on the top floor. Mike's still over in Customs. Caden on the Warden here might be able to find a pick back, and Landon will fall to the glass, who will fall right back to Troy. Troy's back up on the top of the east stairs. So far, still no pressure from Utah. Just falling one after another, 2v4. You need to find a pick here and make something happen. Still gridlock outside of sight window, and the Brava looks like outside of Passport. Just looking for an opening here, and I don't know if they're going to find it. Now 2 stacked in Passport. Sounds like Otterbein knows they're there. One will fall. One walks Blue Hall and falls to Mike. That makes it 3 left up for Otterbein there. Solid round win, and that'll make it 1-1. All right, Otterbein going back to the top floor bomb site, Armory Lockers, or Armory Archives.
Look it up on Windows.
See if that fixes it.
Thanks.
All right, are we good, Henry?
We are not getting game audio still.
Okay. I will come take a look at it again after this round. All right. 30 seconds in, still 5v5. Tachanka pick from Otterbein this time. Looks like they're just trying to stop that quick execute. Also the Goyo and Aruni, lots of stuff to slow down the push from Utah here. So looks like Utah will be taking a different approach this time. Still quiet so far. Nobody picked 5v5. A minute's elapsed now. It's like one outside of the break door here, looking to come into break. Ben's got him held down pretty well. Soda did see one outside of archives, but it looks like he's not applying any pressure just yet. Gonna ace open the triple wall here, and that'll get broken. Droning out into office now. 3 players from Utah stacked up on the east stairs here. Grim Canister gonna try to spot out the Aruni, and it's not gonna land. Gonna open the wall that the Aruni's playing on here. He's gonna have to leave, drop down to bathroom, rotate off, back to site. A little bit of control going the way of Utah now. 2 of them are in 90. Not sure if Landon knows they're there just yet. Looks like Landon is aware of the 90 players. He'll take down one. Down goes Dreg on the Ash. Mike backing up back into Armory here. Utah looking to open the radio wall into Archives here, setting up for an execute on the Archives bomb site. They have one outside of the AC window and two outside of the radio breach. And the third one, or the fourth one rather, appears to be on top of the east stairs. I think that's Slippery on the Cali. I know the Cali is going to be outside of Archive. I'm not sure where the what operator's over on the east side. Cali Lance comes out to break the shield in Archives, but still no progress from Utah just yet. Another player, Cammy, will fall to Landon. Makes it a 5v3 for Otterbein with 20 seconds left. Utah's going to need a miracle here to bring this round out. And one more down to Ben. It's looking pretty unwinnable for Utah at the moment. One player in Fountain, one player radio. Ben gets another. That makes it a 5v1, and it looks like this last player is just going to sit outside and while out the round here. And that'll make it 2-1 Otterbein as we move into the second ban phase of defense. If you'll excuse us for just a moment, we're going to work on some technical issues. I'm not super familiar with
Yeah, I just have it as my desktop, but it's coming out of my monitor is the issue. Like the noise from the game's coming out of my monitor.
It still is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it was like an in-game thing where like the setting was like default or something.
The problem is I don't know if you can fix it without tabbing or like closing out of the game. Output. Set it here. Set it back. That might have fixed it. Come out. It's still not showing anything over here, so I don't think so.
Well, we'll just rock it without
Okay.
game audio.
Can roll it out. My lovely voice carrying
Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to rock out game 2 without game audio here. So you're just gonna have the pleasure of listening to my voice and mostly Nate's beautiful voice.
Oh, yeah.
But Otterbein with a great third round there. Since that first round, have really settled into this match here.
Well, it looks like maybe the first round they were caught a little bit off guard, which surprises me because we did discuss that exact push. But
this is what happens when you have a coach.
it's a difficult one to play against.
Yeah.
That's one of the more annoying executes in the game. So I'm not surprised. It's not uncommon for even prepared teams to fall to that. So
yeah, we'll see if they go back to that.
I'm sure we should get one more round of the top 4 bomb site here, so we'll see that in a minute, and we'll see if Utah decides to pivot back. This round, though, we were on the workshop vents bomb site. Looks like Otterbein has 3 players roaming above, maybe 4, and 1 on the bomb site here. Should be Caden on the smoke, locking it down. Utah is setting up outside of CCTV last I saw, and they've got a couple more players now. Shield was a blitz heading up to CCTV, so they're going to take some upstairs space pretty quickly. They're stacking up outside of CC now, moving over towards Armory. The blitz has absolutely been spotted out by either Ben or Mike up there, and they're going to start setting up to contest that. Let's see here. 4 players outside of our Armory right now for Utah. And the 2-barrel canister will slow those 4 players down for another 10 seconds. 1 player, last Utah player, seems to be outside of Archives. Troy's holding that down over there. Mike's still behind the half wall as he gets a gridlock dropped at his feet. And another 2-barrel on the wall. That'll keep that from coming open just a little bit longer. The blitz peeking the door there. He's not going to find Mike just yet. Mike now leaving, getting to safety as the pressure is mounting. 1 player appears to be walking off his double towards Landon over there. Might see a pick in the next second or two. And Ben running the shotgun on Fenrir, the sausage. You don't see that very often. I wonder if he had a specific play in mind or if it's just maybe a misclick Troy goes down on the top floor to, I believe that was TNT Lord on the Grim. The Malusi utility, though, will still be up even after he's dead, so that makes it another problem for Utah to deal with even after he's no longer in the round. Landon finds a pick back onto Astrove, I believe, on the top floor. The blitz now has rotated to Vent's window, and a smoke from Caden will come out to stop that, it looks like, or not. He'll hold on to it a little longer. There is a player from Utah on the verticality on the top floor there. Looks like rotating off now. Utah, 20 seconds left, 4v4. They need to find some space here for an execute. It looks like that blitz wants to jump in, but he may just not have time with these smoke canisters at this point. He's going to find the pick onto Caden, sprint across, and now he's setting up for a plant in Vents. Slippery finds a pick onto Landon, and Dreg finds Ben trying to stop the plant here. It's a difficult position for Otterbein as Utah is set up post-plant outside of the map. And the blitz here is going to pose a real issue after getting the plant down. He's just going to harass these players from Otterbein. And never mind, as Mike finds a pick on him with the C4. Still 3 to go. Mike gets some damage onto Slippery on the Ash, but also takes a little damage himself. Mike at about 60 HP in a 1v3. 17 seconds to play. He needs 7 of those for the diffuser. So he's got about 6 seconds now to get these 3 players down. And it doesn't look like he's going to find any frags here. And there goes the 7-second timer elapsing, which means this round is in favor of Utah. And Slippery will clean up that last pick onto Mike anyway. That'll make it 2-2 now. So we head into the 5th round defense on Vorder here. Utah with an unexpected round win on that first site on Armory. And then a little more predictable on the 3rd site of Vents, as 3rd sites typically in this game are not particularly strong.
That was a nice execute by Utah, running out of time there in the 4v4. It felt like Otterbein had a lot of space, but they were able to get in there.
Yeah, that play from, I believe it was Cammy on the blitz, jumping in the window and taking down the smoke was absolutely massive. Caden was really the only one in position to stop the plant there, and with him going down, there was just no way to stop the execute from happening. So great awareness by Cammy, great find on that pick there. It's very difficult with a shield and a pistol to grab a pick like that, but he made it happen. Otterbein now rotating back to the Bathroom Teller's bomb site. Looks like a similar team composition as last time. Maybe the Vigil, I believe, is new from the last one. Troy again playing the Malusi role, which he seems very comfortable on. He's 2-2 at the moment with 1 assist. Bulletproof camera going down to launch the window. And now we'll see how Otterbein are going to fan out and hold this bomb site down. Looks like 4 of the players from Utah have spawned out the west side of the map, maybe looking for a workshop take. And we will see where they set up out here, how they're going to pick apart Otterbein this time. Setting up all 4 of those players now outside of West Main with the drone. Looks like they have that blitz shield again. That might be a problem. And the 5th player for Utah will be outside of Passport. Currently, it looks like the only player for Otterbein in position to make a play on this push is Mike on the Wamai. Don't know if he knows that there are 4 players breathing down his neck. Make that 5 as the wall comes open from Passport.
Calm before the storm here for Mike.
Yeah, Mike is in for... Oh, and he'll back up. He feels the pressure. He hears the shield, and he knows it's time to back up right there. He gets a little lucky getting out of there as shots fly behind him. Now full control of Passport and Customs for Utah. That shield just underneath these bullet holes that Mike has made. Wondering if Mike will be able to find a sneaky pick onto him. And Utah with a minute 50 left, stalling out a little bit. Tiny bit of damage from Caden onto that blitz, but it doesn't seem to bother him one bit as he rotates around to Workshop to add pressure. Landon on top of the metal stairs gets heavy damage onto the sledge as Astro finds a pick onto Troy. Landon finds a 1 and 2. 3 make that. Wow. 3 kills for Landon as he drops the hatch into Workshop. Takes down the blitz, takes down the Nomad, and the sledge to boot. And he makes it out with his life. This is now a 3v2 for Otterbein from a losing situation to a winning one thanks to that play from Landon, who is 7-3. Make that 8-3. Absolutely smokes Slippery on the buck. And Landon looking for his ace here. He hears the player bottom metal.
Oh,
Oh, and he can't quite get it. 1v2 now. It's still very winnable for TNT Lord. Landon may have gotten a little bit greedy there. I can't blame him. I would have too. Now in Workshop, Mike fighting the Grim of TNT Lord. Both still full HP, but that 553 from Grim does a lot of damage. But here comes Soda to help. Caden will clean up the last pick. Finish Landon's ace for him. Unfortunate Landon couldn't find that ace today, but who knows? We got a lot of game left to play. Now 2-3 in favor of Otterbein. Otterbein looking like they're going to head back to that Armory Archives bomb site. Similar lineup to last time. Tubero, Azami, Tachanka, Aruni, and Warden. The attackers so far are on Nomad, Buck, Ash, Grim, and Blitz, but we know they have repick, so we're not sure just yet what we'll see out of them. Been bringing a pretty similar composition all the way down so far, Utah. The Buck, the Grim, the Blitz, the Ash, even the Nomad, all have been staples in almost every round of this game. Seem very comfortable on these operators, but Otterbein playing pretty similar operators that we've seen already too, so they seem comfortable as well. Caden setting up a rotate into the CCTV box. Some reinforcements going up here. Looks like Mike or Ben might be looking to play the triple wall again in office. And a couple of repicks coming out from Utah after that previous statement. The Blitz is gone. No shield for Utah this time as Cammy switched to the Flores. Slippery on the Deimos, who could pose a problem if he gets in underneath with those Deimos tracks. And the Ace, of course, coming out for breaching the walls. So that's a pretty easy pick. Troy's on the cams. He spots the first player outside. I think that was the Deimos. Several players outside of East, and I heard out of the corner of my ear that Troy may have miscommed that, but oh well. Utah very spread out at the moment, looking maybe just for a little bit of space, somewhere to grab a foothold. 30 seconds now elapsed in this round. One player underneath looks like probably the Deimos. I'm sure if they know that op's up, that Otterbein will be looking for that pressure below. Flores now outside the AC window. Probably going to look for some utility being cleared with his drones here. This shield that Caden's playing on right now might be his first victim, and there it goes. Flores' drone will pop that shield, and Caden's going to be forced to reposition. Otterbein still has one more shield. As another Flores drone comes in, this one will be shot by Caden, so that shield will live to fight another day. A Deimos track onto Caden. Looks like below in Workshop, Caden's aware of it, and the track he will recall right away as Caden was on a hard floor and not in position to be killed. Ben on the office single wall here. A lot of pressure on him. Not sure if he knows just yet. Doesn't matter. He finds a pick on a drag and relieves some of that pressure. He's looking for another as the ace of Astro attempts to throw a cell mechanics onto the wall. It doesn't look like it connected, or he may have just put that away as he decided he didn't want to open that wall anymore. Another Deimos track coming out from Slippery. He'll spot Soda again, but immediately recalled once again. Looks like he's not getting much value out of those, down to just one track remaining. Oh, and Ben will fall to Astrove. A little greedy on that peek from Ben, I think. Gave the ace a lot of time to peek those holes, and Mike will find that pick right back, making it a 4v3. Mike in the fountain area. One player jumps into Archives, and he will fall to Troy. That's Cammy on the Flores, making it a 4v2. Otterbein maybe getting a little greedy here. Mike retaking space into office, and now sitting pretty on a comfortable reinforced wall here. Not sure if he's aware of the player on the top east balcony. Now walking into break. That's the Grim of TNT Lord. Oh, and Mike will look away just as he car's coming up, but Mike doesn't care. Mike will find a pick onto the Deimos coming up the east stairs, and Landon will clean it up to make it 4-2 Otterbein on the defense side. Excellent start for Otterbein here. Maybe one more of these rounds could have gone their way. Just a couple of small mistakes that really stacked up against them. But 4-2, a respectable defense side on border. How you feeling, Henry?
feeling good. I mean, we're up 4-2. How much would you say, how favored is defensive side in R6?
It'll vary from map to map, but
Gotcha.
here on the border map, I would I would say at the collegiate level, we're probably looking at around 50-50. You see a lot of 3-3 splits. It's not an easy map to attack, but as you saw in that first round and a little bit maybe in the fourth round, it can get a little bit gimmicky on the attacking side, and that can sometimes throw a round or two in the way of an unprepared defense, or rather a round or two against that unprepared defense.
Yeah, in some other games, like Valorant specifically, I'm thinking, depending on the map, you have that like certain round mark you're trying to hit to feel like you quote unquote won that half. But yeah, Otterbein up 2 rounds now, first to 7. Speaking of Valorant, nasty, quite some nasty clips on Friday, helping Otterbein with their first win. But it's been a phenomenal player for us in R6 and in Valorant. But gonna be on the Nomad, I believe. Is that who he picked? Missed that one. That
What was that, Henry? Sorry.
shield agent looks tough to play. Tough to play against, rather.
Oh yeah,
Brutal.
yeah. The shields in Rainbow Six are incredibly strong right now. Um,
Giving me a flashback to
Definitely.
like old like Call of Duty back in the day with the Riot Shield,
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of
except
that.
way stronger.
Incredibly frustrating to play against. Really, it requires a coordinated team to play around it, but um, sometimes, if you get caught in the wrong position in a 1v1 with especially the blitz shield with the flashbang attached to it, that's just uh, a guaranteed win for the blitz most of the time. Now in round 7, Otterbein on the attacking side now. They've got Troy on the thermite for the hard breach. Caden is on a Nomad to cover their flanks. Landon's got Zofia for, I think, more hard breaches and then some soft breaching capability as well. Mike's on the Aurora to close down some of these doorways, probably in the 90 hallway, and then Ben with the Grim to spot out operators in power position. So strong lineup for Otterbein here, well-selected operators. And Caden will drone right into the mute jammer of Astrove. Utah has selected this top 4 bomb site. Otterbein seeming pretty comfortable with attacking this. They've seen this several times in their scrims, so hopefully they'll be prepared. The Valkyrie might pose an issue for Otterbein here, as those C4s from below could become an issue. And a lot of intel for Utah that I'm not sure Otterbein knows they've got just yet. So let's see here. What else? Utah also has the Goyo up for plant denial. That could end up being an issue as this timer continues to tick down. Over a minute 15 elapsed in the round already. Otterbein stacking up outside the triple wall on top east. Landon already into office. The other 3 stacked up outside radio. Looks like Troy is looking for a breach onto the radio wall, but they need to get that mute jammer off, and they will with an EMP from the Grim. 3 players stacked up, now rotating off back into office. Looks like 1 player in break. That'll be, I think, the mute of Astrove. Looks like Landon might be aware of that. Player close in Fountain as well. Drag as he'll peek out, get a pick onto Caden, and Landon will find one right back onto Cammy. Mike finds one onto Astro on the flank there. 1 player still close on the breach. I'm not sure if Otterbein are aware of this guy. It's the Valkyrie of Slippery. Landon will pop that wall open. Now he's under a lot of pressure, but they can't find the trade onto Slippery here. Slippery's going to get away with one, living up to his username here. And he's going to sneak out and find another onto Ben and a down onto Troy. That's really unfortunate for Otterbein here. And he'll pick up the last one onto Mike. That's a 4K quad kill for Slippery, who definitely found a little moment to be slippery this round as he takes what was a losing situation for Utah and flips it in their favor in a heartbeat. Otterbein now with only a 3-4 margin. I'm going to go ahead and use my coach timeout here.
Well, taking a look at the leaderboard here for Otterbein, we have Nasty. Top fragging so far, 10 and 5, mostly coming off that big 4K round that he had, I believe from round 3. And then we have Mike 5 and 3, Neb 4 and 5, Palomalu 3 4 and 1, and then Soda 2 4 2. Excuse me, sorry, burning the midnight oil over here. Slippery, off of that 4K, gonna be 8 and 3 now, but Utah posing a challenge here as they are Now have eclipsed the point where they have more rounds than they did in game one. So Otterbein wisely taking that coach timeout, taking a deep breath here, and hopefully Nate giving them some words of wisdom here. But taking a look at the operators here, going to have Zofia, Thatcher, Grim, Thermite for the side of Otterbein, and then for the side of Utah. Did not catch all of them, but anyways, going to be hopping into the preparation base here. So we're going to have 40 seconds to spot out bomb site, as much intel as they can here.
All right.
But like I said,
Utah.
Nasty leading the way off of that big 4K he had.
Oh yeah, 10-5, no slouch for sure.
So
Slippery
as
even
a
after
coach
a
here,
big 4K.
what does Otterbot need to bring into these next couple rounds?
Well, we just had a coach's timeout here. We were discussing it. Honestly, that last round, I think exactly what we just discussed. Slippery, just being slippery, got lucky, found a spot where Otterbein wasn't watching, wasn't being as vigilant as they needed to be, and he got away with just a couple more picks and turned around that was almost completely lost for Utah into a win. So Utah three round wins here, but at peril of sounding a little bit like I'm playing favorites, I do think that they have, found very lucky moments or very clutch moments here. Otterbein otherwise is still looking pretty dominant in my opinion. So um, Otterbein will start with CCTV and break room, just trying to clear out some space on the top floor here. They've got Ben outside, and he'll get jumped out on by Slippery, who is now absolutely heating up, making it a 5v4 for Utah. Got two players on the top floor here, Slippery in Archives and the Ella of Cammy in Armory. Looks like he'll challenge the 90 wall here, but Mike is playing a little bit too passive. They don't see each other just yet. And Otterbein now a little bit stalled out after that first pick falls. We'll see if they can find. There you go. There's Caden finding Slippery on the roam there. That'll make it back to 4v4. But Utah did successfully burn a minute off of the clock. We'll see if that ends up being a problem for Otterbein as time goes on here. Now, Mike on the drone here finds the Ella in Armory. And the Ella will tuck in the small office here. Actually, on the half wall next to the small office. And looks like he'll drop out via the hatch and leave back to the bomb site now. Otterbein now with full vertical control. Cleared out the top floor. Minute 30, they need to start making some holes in the ceiling here. See if they can find a couple of picks onto the bomb site. Hard breaches on both the Zofia and the Thermite here. One of them will probably open these hatches here in workshop and into bathroom in just a moment. Maybe not. We'll see. And it looks like Otterbein are setting up for an execute on the bottom of the east stairs here. This is one they've rehearsed a few times. We'll see if they can get positioned. Now landing going to bring the hatch open with the pocket breach canisters from Zofia. The mute of Drag on site is tucked behind that hard wall there, so Landon can't see him just yet. Mike finding a pick on a Drag, that's the mute in the site. Troy is opening that single wall. Actually, he's muted just now, so we'll see if he gets that wall open. 30 more seconds for Otterbein here. 4v3, and they're just one hard wall away from the bomb site here. We'll see if they can find their entrance in to set up their execute. All these Auroras on the bottom of the east square, really holding Utah out of the bomb site here. Cammy finds one onto Landon upstairs. A smoke canister goes up, and the picks are just going to fall as Otterbein jump into a disadvantageous situation right there. Weren't able to get the wall open, and they paid dearly for it. Now 4-4.
All tied up here in game two now. I feel like hopefully Otterbein won't be looking back at those rounds that they felt might have got away from them. Because, against a good team, those rounds can come back to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely. Those sneaky rounds, those throws, those clutches that go the other way, they can take a lot of morale out of you. And on top of that, in a game like Siege where, we only have 7 rounds to win, every single round that goes the other way can be a real problem. So Otterbein's going to need to rally here. Looks like the only two of them going positive right now are Landon and Mike. Going to need to see some frags either two of them need to turn it up to 11, or the other ones need to step it up and start helping them out because they are just not quite finding enough, finding a lot of early picks, finding a lot of man advantage here, but as the clock works against them, they're just getting forced into disadvantageous situations. So hopefully this round on the third site on ventilation, Otterbein will be able to find a little better plant position here, one with a little more time and maybe with a little less defender utility. But maybe not, as these Goyos, the smoke canisters from Astrave on the smoke, and the Malusi Banshees are set up on both of the vents windows. That is where the typical plant is going to go down on this bomb site. But with all that utility there, if Otterbein doesn't find a way to clear it out early, that could really end up biting them in the end. 15 seconds into the 9th round of this game.
These 3 minutes really
Otterbein.
go by fast.
Yeah. Well, the way the game's set up, you spend the first typically 45 seconds just sprinting to get into the map in the first place, so he'll end up being a lot closer to a Counter-Strike round, and Soda, Caden will fall down to the Goyo of Dreg with that Vector 45. Now Otterbein's stalling out a little bit as they've lost a man early. They do get some damage out of that, but unfortunately Dreg is still up to cause problems for them in the top east stairs area. Astrave is going to find another on the land and making it a 5v3. Difficult position for Otterbein here. Otterbein's still sitting outside of the armory and CC windows and doors, trying to find some space here. Looks like maybe now Troy and Ben are going to start walking in, taking some space, but it might be too little too late here. Troy will find one back onto Astrave. Makes it a 4v3. Troy's still looking for another pick. Not sure if he knows about the Goyo here on top metal. And he didn't seem to be prepared for that, but he does find the knock. However, Slippery will find him from the radio soft wall there, just on a punch hole. One of those classic Siege. Oh, another Siege moment as we lose 2 players for Otterbein to a punch hole on the radio wall. Mike now in a difficult 1v4. Dreg's been picked back up, so that down from Troy won't do much for him. He's going to find the pick onto Slippery. Not sure if he knows about the Goyo on top metal stairs. And another player below him making vert with a shotgun. It's going to cause some real problems for Mike here as he needs to start moving down towards the bomb site. 49 seconds left. 3 picks left to find. And a lot of pressure on Mike here as he needs to move down towards the bomb site.
Yeah, those early picks in this round, not optimal at all. I'm going to leave Mike in quite a tough position here. 25 seconds left. Utah just waiting for him to drop.
Yep, and I think Mike knows he's going to have to try it anyway. And yep, there they go. All 3 collapse on him as soon as he drops the hatch. That'll be the last pick of the round, making now 5-4 in favor of Utah, who started this game out, I'll remind you, down 4-2 on their attacking side. Otterbein needs to find 2 more here to make the get to match point or to force the overtime. Now in a tough position. These last ban will come out for Utah. Let's see what they're going to ban here. Looks like Aurora. That will cause problems for that execute that Otterbein likes to do on the bathroom teller's bomb site. But it looks like they won't even go there just yet. They're going to start back with Armory Archives again, that top floor bomb site. A lot of teams like to pick that site first, but the bathroom teller's site is arguably even stronger depending on what kind of strat you're using and what kind of players you have on your team. So interesting that both teams elected to pick that site first. It is one of the more solved sites in this game, if you could say that, as at the pro level that site has definitely been sorted down to a science at this point. Utah bringing the Aruni this time looks like looking to deny entry into that radio wall, maybe reading that push from Otterbein if they're going to push the same way again as they did in that first attacking round. The lineup for Utah, the Aruni, as we said, the Mute, the Smoke, a Sentry, which For the uninitiated of you, is the Siege Recruit Operator, who has no primary gadget but brings 2 of the secondary gadgets. So we'll see what they've got. I would be willing to bet on a C4 and impact grenades. That is one we see a whole lot around here. Otterbein rappelling up outside of the CC balcony here, looking to find an entry into the building. Mike on the Glass, an interesting pick, and the Blitz shield from Caden. Looking to use and abuse these smokes and flashes to really apply pressure to the players from Utah. Caden now close on this smoke, and Mike will get, or Landon rather, will get run out on from the west main door by the Rooney of Slippery, who is just absolutely eating up this game. Otterbein now stalling into this shield on 90. Slippery maybe getting a little too greedy as he walks right into the spray from Troy. That'll make it 4v4 now. Cammy on top east will find a pick onto Ben. There's a player in Fountain and a player in 90. Astro and I think looks like Dreg, or rather TNT Lord, both causing problems for Caden as he attempts to push into this 90 space. One player from Utah below, maybe a C4 coming up to cause problems upstairs. Now looks like Troy and Caden have rotated over to open the armory wall and set up for an execute here. This may actually be a great play as Utah has at least 2, maybe 3 players that are not in position to help with this execute at all. The smoke canister comes out from Dreg to slow them down, but Otterbein has all the time in the world. Getting a little greedy Astro here on the deployable shield. He takes about 50% of his HP and damage from Troy. Now Troy and Caden looking maybe to take a fight with this smoke and apply some pressure. One more player from Utah rotating over, but Troy will find a pick on a Dreg. That makes it still 1 player versus 2 in Armory right now, as they are isolating these players from Utah one at a time here. Astro still on the shield on the top of the metal stairs. Troy throwing up some smokes, maybe to set up for an execute. It looks like he's running in, going to try to plant here. A C4 comes out. That won't quite find him, but the bullets of Cammy might just find his toes. The plant going down. Troy will get the plant down and get back out of the breach here. That gives him an opportunity to close this round out. Now an advantageous position for Otterbein. It's the first plant we've seen from them so far. Cammy, unfortunately, finds a pick onto Mike. I'll make it 3v2. Troy finds the pick back onto him. Caden is stuck in a 1v1 with TNT Lord, and Troy needs to worry about this mute of Astro on his backside in CC. Troy playing very passive here. Astro might be able to find a pick onto Soda. Soda just being patient. He needs to stay alive for 5 more seconds, and it looks like he's just a little too late. Otterbein in the post plant just can't keep it together. And Utah's going to find the defuse in that retake there. That's going to be match point Utah on map 2, 6-4. Otterbein needs to rally and find 2 more in a row here to force overtime.
Yeah, I believe Utah has won 4 or 5 rounds in a row there.
Yeah, it'll be 4 straight on this defense side. Yeah, like I said earlier, this map can be very difficult to attack against just weird or aggressive players, and Utah really bringing that aggression, bringing that pressure, forcing Otterbein in difficult positions, forcing them to take gunfights they're not expecting or that they don't that they're not used to. And unfortunately, that last round, Cammy just winning an unexpected gunfight onto Mike there, as Mike had fully had the jump on Cammy. That may have cost them the round, unfortunately. All right. Rotating over to the bathroom teller's bomb site on match point here. Utah has a Valkyrie, a Smoke, a Mute, a Malusi, and a Goyo in their lineup. Slippery, notably on the Valkyrie, at 12-6 right now with a 2 KD. Otterbein flipping around a lot of operators here. They have the Glaz for Mike again. Landon seems to be sticking with the Capitao. Caden is switched over to the Thatcher, and Ben is on Ram for some verticality. And then lastly, Troy is playing the Monty Shield now. We'll see what kind of play they're looking for. It appears they may be setting up for a quick execute here. I'm not sure what they're going to do. We do have a fast exec that we've practiced, but we'll see if that comes out. Landon does spot the Goyo of Cammy on the top of the east stairs. Looks like he is still playing there. Oh, no, he's not. He's left back now. Otterbein sets up all 5 of their players on this window here. A risky plant coming down. A quick plant. Troy, no pressure. No one even looking at him. He's going to get the bomb down and get out with his life.
Wow.
5v5. That's typical siege for you. Mike finds the first pick of the round on a Cammy. The Capital Firebolt comes down. That's going to stop Utah from defusing. This is an execute we've rehearsed many times, and it looks like they are setting it up to perfection here. Another Capital Fire coming out from Landon, and that's going to make it pretty much impossible for Utah to find their retake and get this defuse off, as that should burn until the last couple of seconds. Now 5v1, Landon and Ben each find a couple, and Landon will find the last. That's a flawless round for Otterbein.
Yeah, big
A
momentum swing here.
5v5 plant. And now Otterbein just 1 round away from overtime in a great position here. Like to see if Utah will call for a timeout, take their time to talk over what they want to do, and see if they can close this out without the overtime. Let's see. They have 11 seconds to make that decision. Utah choosing the Vents Workshop bomb site. It looks like they're not going to take their timeout. Interesting choice. I would have in regulation here, taking it while I had the chance. Utah bringing the Aruni again, Smoke, Mute, Malusi, and Ella. Looks like the exact same lineup we saw on this bomb site last time. Troy on the Ace. Probably looking to open Armory or Archives wall. Landon on the Grim. Caden on the Blitz. Ben again bringing the Ram. It looks like he likes that operator quite a bit. And I think I already mentioned Troy on the Ace here, opening some hard walls up for Otterbein. Big round here. This could really swing the momentum in Otterbein's favor if they can force an overtime. I'm not sure which side pick they have in the overtime, but if they can put up a good performance here, they know they can win any of these bomb sites on attack. So whether they get attack or defense, I have full faith that they are capable of pulling this out in overtime. They just need to get there in this round.
Yeah, a lot riding on this round for Otterbein. A must-win round. Not only for the players, but also the coaches who want to get their good night's sleep.
I will ditto that. I've been up since about 6:30 this morning.
I just yawned.
And yeah, I'm about ready to turn it in. But if we gotta go to map 3, we gotta go. So
Yep.
we'll see how it goes. Wondering if Otterbein are feeling the pressure at this moment. Last week when they played against Montana State, as soon as the pressure came on, they started struggling a little bit. Even when they were up 4-2 on this map, the pressure seemed to get to them a little bit, as they knew they needed these attacks to close out the game, and they couldn't quite find them over and over, just so close. So now Otterbein will be looking for some verticality here. They're going to open up the window and the door into Archives. Looks like 3 players from Utah are up here. Mike outside on top of the bus by AC window. A Dokkaebi call will come in. That means the cameras for the defenders are out of service temporarily, and all of them will have a little noise cue to let the attackers know where they are. Otterbein appears to have spotted at least a couple of the upstairs players. Landon and Caden looking to apply some pressure. Mike's still outside on the rappel. Actually, I might have misspoken. Landon is over here on the armory side as Ben and Caden look to apply pressure. Troy and Landon looking to open up the armory wall and apply pressure on the opposite side. I like this play from Otterbein here. They need to get this mute jammer off the wall if they want to add their pressure. Ben will find the first pick of the round onto Astro. Landon finding another one onto Slippery, who may have had the jump on him there, but that Capitao cannon will do a heck of a lot of damage and take Slippery down despite his advantage in that gunfight. One player from Utah up on the top of the east stairs. Not sure if Otterbein knows about him just yet. A C4 from Dreg below finds Caden. The top east player has now snuck his way into break. Still not sure if Otterbein are aware of the flank coming in on them. I'm playing very patiently here. Cammy on the flank now finds Troy, making it a 3v3. Otterbein, who were in a 5v3 advantage position, Now back in a 3v3 with not a lot of time to play. Mike will find a floor bang onto TNT Lord. Looks like they had a camera on his position on one of their drones. Cammy finds another, though, onto Landon upstairs. He's in the 90 hallway. I'm not sure if Otterbein knows. Mike, lucky to escape with his life there as he was not looking for Cammy there. 20 seconds here. Otterbein does not have the diffuser. I'm not sure if Utah is aware of that, but they're going to have to go for picks here. Ben walking in on the bomb site. Cammy finds one upstairs, and that might be good night for Otterbein on this map as Cammy can just sit back and relax. Dreg finds the last one on Ben, and that'll make it 7-5 in favor of Utah on the border map here.
And we are
See you
headed
guys in
to
a few
game
for map
3.
3. Oh, yeah.